but that's the origin of cap. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
There's a principle that
Right.
we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now. Now
It's
deep.
incredible.
I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And applying the recovery, I thought.
My spiel today, since it's holiday time, is going to be about reflection. Reflection. That's me sharing some of my own personal stuff. Reflection. Now, for me, you can reflect on the day, you can reflect on the week, or you can reflect on your life. Whatever it is you want to reflect on. This is a part of the process, part of the process. For me, I did some of it all. I reflected on my life. And that's when how I want to put it. That's when I started, resonating with y'all, right? When I started reflecting on my life. I can remember long before I got into recovery, I wanted to stop using. Long before I got into recovery, I wanted to stop using. And I can remember conversations, telling myself and telling other people, how do I stop using? I didn't have an idea. How do I stop using? Anybody read Just for the Day, AA today? I'm disappointed. Hey, you got to read, man. You got to read. You know what I'm saying? Just for the Day. The theme in Just for the Day was a common solution. A common solution was the theme for the day. All these people that we bring in here, all of these people that we see, that y'all see, it's a common solution as to why their life changed. Their life changed because they stopped using. And I tell you, years ago, we never heard of it, man. When you come in here, let me just say, when I was working, I worked at a printing company. Supervisor told me, he said, Marsha, when you come to a job, I don't care what kind of job it is, he said, the first thing you got to do is learn the language so you can learn to understand what's being said, what's going on. That's why I say you got to read. I'm telling you right now, I still read as smart as I am. I still read with a dictionary because I ain't that smart. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good listener, you understand. You know what I'm saying? There's always two sides of the equation. You know what I'm saying? Pam got it. I wanted y'all to get it. You know what I'm saying? And I became a good listener after I got here. And so this is what it is, man. When you come in here, you got to learn something. You got to learn something. You don't know how to stay clean. I didn't know how to stay clean. And I always ask that question. How do I do this? Man, as we come in, man, John lays the program out. I lay the program out. Our speaker laid the program out. Nard laid the program out. Everybody that comes in here and shares lays the program out. And sometimes, man, we don't listen to it. We don't hear it. We don't hear it. But that's the program, man. I just told my other John back there, years ago, guy that used to run the Rubicon, Hopper Greenhouse. Yeah. Let him rest in peace. Hopper used to say, hey, Marshall, I stopped trying to judge who got it, who don't have it, who's going to work for, who it ain't going to work for. I see somebody come in, still got their watch on their arm and still got their ring. And I was like, oh, he got a chance, because he ain't get rid of all of his stuff. See the dude come through the door with one tennis shoe on, crawling, getting through the door. He said that he ain't gonna make it. All said and done, a year later, the dude that came in with the one shoe on, he's still clean. The guy with the ring and watch, he gone back out. You know why? Because he ain't want it. He ain't want it. You know, this dude that had got beat up like that, Nod, he wanted it. He wanted a change. You know what I'm saying? And he went about doing whatever it is he had to do to get that change. I can remember, you know, I told you this several times, man. Last time I was in jail in 1988, John made arrangements to pick me up from jail when I got out and took me straight to a meeting. Best thing that ever happened to me. Well, nobody at the meeting talking about where you can score at and who got the best stuff and all of that. You know, these people were talking about trying to get their life together, trying to change some things in their life. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's the hit. That's the hit. If you don't want to change nothing in your life, man, what they said, the misery is still available to you. You can get it free, still available to you. You know, I'm constantly finding out, man, even today, man, how this thing affects families. You know, I'm talking about in the last 2 or 3 weeks, man, I'm running into somebody and got a family member that's locked up, just got locked up, got a family member that's out there using and all that. You know what I'm saying? And man, that stuff, man, Nas spoke about this last week down at West, man, how his family has reunited, been resurrected. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they are there to support him because, man, you ain't got to tell me, ain't nobody coming in here got good family dynamics. You done been in jail 3, 4, 5 times. You know, family dynamics is shot. I don't care if you got kids or you married or who it is, or whatever it is. You know, I can just remember that, man. I can remember people on the other side of the visiting table walking on eggshells. They don't know what to say to you. They don't want to say something while you in jail to make you mad because they feel like you can't handle it. You know? So every visit is always a good visit. But that can be deceiving. Man, if we got a partner that's always co-signing our shit, we ain't gonna never get better. Not dealing with them. We need somebody to tell us, man, when our shit is stinking. You know, we need that. For me, for my reflection, man, I just go back, man. I go back. Man, a whole lot of stuff y'all don't know. Bring my wife in here one day and let her tell you. You know, I mentioned last week, man, how my daughter, my wife, when she reflects about how my daughter has been a part of my recovery program, you know, and long story short, my daughter saw me struggling. And my daughter said, one day I'm going to become a lawyer because my daddy going to need my help. And that's what she did. Today she's an attorney, you know. And I mean, smart, not a criminal lawyer. It's like that. Why would I want to be a criminal lawyer to have to represent somebody that I know is guilty? You know, I got you. And then the other hit was I got a son. After I got the penitentiary, my wife had a son, you know, and my daughter was there to help raise my son. My daughter talked my son into going to law school. I got 2 lawyers in the family, you know. Man, you know, look, I don't pay for insurance no more. I don't pay for telephone bills no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing for the easy tag no more. You don't know that, man. Gifts on Father's Days has gotten real good. You know? And I understand it's all because I stopped using. You know? Get this thing a chance, man. I can remember, man, Like, man, me and John was just sharing, man. I mean, my goal was to do some service work. John Shinhauser got me hooked up, H&I, to take the meeting down to jail. And I'm still doing that. What an impact. What an impact that had on my life. When I reflect back, I know you ain't got to tell me, oh, that jail shit is some bullshit. No. Not for me. That jail shit is some serious shit. You know what I'm saying? For me, hey, Pam, 35 years later, and I'm still doing it. You know what I'm saying? My day-to-day, man, I just shared that with John. I got a text message. The guy says, we coming by your house tomorrow to give you your last treatment for your grass, this Virginia green. I looked out there, you know we had a storm Monday. Wind was blowing. I mean, like it was shaking the trees and all that, you know what I'm saying? And I look out there and I said, man, I see all these leaves laying in the yard. I said, man, he can't treat the grass like that. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna have to go out there and I'm gonna have to break them leaves. You know what I'm saying? I already got a bad leg. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't call my yard, man. They ain't have enough time. So I go out there and, man, I'm raking the leaves. I'm raking and I'm raking. And every now and then I stop, man, and look at my phone and I'm trying to figure out how long it's gonna take me to get here. You know what I'm saying? What time I got to leave? You know what I'm saying? Man, I got to be at the interstate. You know what I'm saying? By 4:30. You know, and I'm thinking too. It was like the other week I was a little late. You know, I don't know what happened then. You know what I'm saying? But my thoughts about that are, man, since I've been clean, I try to the best of my ability to have some character and some integrity about myself. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And I got that out of recovery. You know what I'm saying? I got that out of recovery. Everywhere I go, man, I try to get there 15, 20 minutes ahead of schedule. You know? Try to be on time, you know? But in working the steps of this program that I'm in, the 10th step, you know, some people do the 10th step on a daily basis, you know, just looking back at your day, see how your day went, you know. And if you made a mistake during the course of the day, you can go back and rectify it. You know, and I like that. When I look back on me for the week, or I look back for the month, I look back for the year, there's some things I can do about that. And I'm a part of a program, man, that tells you how to do that, shows you how to do it. You know, the visual of this thing is impactful. Me and John and everybody else, man, we show up here on a regular basis. We show up here. You know, we got a purpose in mind. We got a goal in mind. You know, those are some of the things, man, that you have to learn about to keep you grounded. You know what I'm saying? To keep you clean. You know, I can remember being a day one dingbat, thinking that I got some vision. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that I can see certain things. I am not a visionary with 10 days clean. You know, I just trying to keep from pissing on myself or shitting on myself. Because like I get that urge and my stomach started flipping. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm thinking, oh, I got to go get it now because my stomach flipping. You know? Hey, when I got into recovery, if I get some money, same thing, man. I worked on my job, I get paid. I got $600 for the week. My stomach flipping. Now we talking about feelings. You know what I'm saying? Now we talking about feelings. You know what I'm saying? You know, we get some of the same feelings, man, about different things on a regular basis. On a regular basis. I got to learn how to control these feelings. I got to learn how to respond to these feelings. You know? I got to learn how to respond to a little anger. You know? I got to learn how to do that. Man, hey, like it is in a marriage. You go in there, hey, Pam, one eye open and one eye closed. You know? Because you ain't got to respond to everything. You know what I'm saying? For me, I ain't got to have an opinion on everything. You know? Some things I see today, I can turn around, man, and walk in the opposite direction. You know? And be satisfied with it. I ain't letting nobody, man, steal my joy, steal my peace. You know? But anytime y'all get ready, all y'all got to do is show up. It's a bunch of people in this room that's going to already be there. We there waiting on you. And that's what they told me. And I find that to be true. So I advocate for it, you know. Anyway, I want y'all to meet this guy, man, that just retired from his job. You know. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But John Shinhauser, man, that's my best friend, you know. You don't get that. They don't promise you that when you get here that you can find a best friend. Now I've got a couple of people that are friends. You know what I'm saying? Me and John been working together. Man, you talking about spiritual connection. We've been working together for 35 years. Me and that dude got a connection, man. I mean, that's deep, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just no surface shit. Because I always know if I really need John for something, I know I can get it. All I got to do is pick up the phone and call him, you know. And we ain't never discussed that. But I know, you know, from the spiritual connection that we got. And what are you going to do on retirement? Shit, we're going to play more golf. Hey, come on up, John. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me tell y'all this last thing. How this thing works, man. The spiritual nature of this thing works, man. Hey, look, man, my mother passed, you know, and man, I was at home in a state of depression. And I was like, man, what I'm gonna do now? You know, a couple of days later, my phone rang, and it was John. And John was like, hey, Marshall, I'm getting ready to kick off something in the Henrico jail. He said, man, I need you. He said, I need an assistant. And I was like, hey, John, you got me. You know what I'm saying? And man, the depression disappeared. You know what I'm saying? God put people in my life. You know what I'm saying? This dude been there for 35 years. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I was like, man, I'm forever grateful.
What Marshall didn't know, I didn't need an assistant. I needed somebody to do the program, and I was going to tag along, man. See how we read things a little different, man?
Yeah.
Give Marshall a hand, man.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
You know, I got.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was listening to Marshall. You know, anytime I hear anybody talk, I get thoughts in my head, and a lot of it's reflections, this and that. And but see, I got a yard too, and I use the same company Marshall uses. And when you come into my neighborhood, I'm like the second house on the left, and you're all invited to my house, by the way. And I got the best looking yard in the neighborhood. And the trick is on the leaves. I don't pick them up. I just cut them with my lawnmower and it makes mulching. And I mean, but you got to do it regular. You can't let it build up.
Oh,
and then
no.
it could kill your grass, but I just mulch my leaves. But that just for the day, I don't read it every morning. The first 5 years, I would read the just for the day literature, but now I'd read newspapers every morning. I read 2-3 papers a day. And today they had articles on mental illness and how poor our mental illness services are in Virginia. And it just gets my head spinning because I obviously have solutions, but nobody listens to me. But for the purpose of us, Our solution is really with us. If our addiction is our primary illness, then recovery is the primary solution. And the best way to recover is with each other, looking after each other. This time of year especially, we got each other to lean on. We really do, whether you know it or not, or like it or not. And Marshall's correct. All we do is got to call each other. Let us know what's going on, and we come running. That's how we roll in recovery. But you got to do the work yourself. You're the one that's got to make the call. You're the one that got to stay clean. You're the one that has to make yourself get engaged with the recovery community and the recovery process. I've never, ever seen anybody fail yet. If they honestly stopped using drugs, if they honestly took the time out and did the work and did the engagement, you're going to get the results. I mean, you can't fail at this. I don't see how you can. But it's up to us to tell on our disease not to use. Obviously we want to use from time to time. I mean, that's a natural thing for an addict, but you got to tell on your disease. You got to give people a chance to give you the feedback to help guide you through the process. Now, this is my last month of employment at McShann. I'll be fully retired at the end of the year, but I have a new job that I've been doing for quite a while, a side gig that's almost full time. For example, I got to go to Washington the next couple of days and do some work. Got to go to Tampa next Tuesday, so I probably won't be at East next week. And it's a good thing too, because I don't have two children that are lawyers looking after me, man. I got a daughter, and if you know anything about daughters, man, they cost you. So, which is fine, she's a wonderful child. She's 31, and we do anything for each other. But I don't want to stroke my ego or feed into my arrogance, but you never know who you're talking to sometimes. People are always watching us, okay? When you're in recovery and you let people know you're in recovery, people are watching. They're taking notice to you. And one thing, I have a little bit of a reputation. Anybody knows me knows I'm in recovery. And a few years back, because of my advocacy work, because I'm constantly pushing the envelope with trying to change, reduce the stigma, influence policies, and change things. I don't know, 5-6 years ago, this lady comes to my office and says, "Hey, look, I'm running for Congress," which, to myself, I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's a stretch, a totally unknown. Good luck. And she was running against a fierce competitor, fierce incumbent. And not only that, she's running from one party that historically hasn't won in this district in 100 years. So it's almost like, no way, Jose. But I treat everybody equal. I'm that purple guy, that fair and balanced purple guy. I'm not red, I'm not blue, I'm purple. So if I can educate you, I'll educate you. So I told the lady, I said, "I'll tell you what, if you want my support," we talked for like 20, 30 minutes. And I said, "You watch this movie. It's a documentary on recovery. You watch this 90-minute long movie, and then you come back and see me. And if you can pass my quiz, I'll give you a 10-question quiz. And if you pass it, I'll make you a donation." Well, about a week later, she come back ready to take that quiz, and I'm giving her the question. She's getting the answers, and she missed one. And when she missed it, she knew the answer. Man, she fell out of the couch in my office, went down on one knee and banged the coffee table and was laughing and crying. I knew the answer to that. I mean, just got real emotional on me. And but ever since then, I donated some money to her anyways. I felt bad for her. She tried. She almost got the prize, but I gave it to her. But every time we did an event, she'd show up and she'd try to carry her message, how she's going to support us and be our champion. Well, she ended up winning. And, she's been in Congress, and now she's on her third term. And she's going to actually run for governor. She'll probably be our next governor. But the short of it is this. About a week ago, on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock, I get an email from one of her staffers and says, "Hey, the Congresswoman asked you to turn on C-SPAN tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Now, who in the hell gonna get up and watch C-SPAN at 9 a.m.? That's like the worst channel ever. But I did it. And then within a few minutes on the House floor of the United States Congress, this congresswoman takes about a minute out of her schedule and just praises the hell out of the work we've done at McShin, the efforts me and my wife has made. And the message is you just never know who you impact, who listens to you. And I thought, well, that's a shining moment in my career in the recovery movement. And but it began with us looking after each other. And moving forward, we still got to look after each other. That's our job. You know, the sheriff does a good job doing her best helping y'all with your recovery process. 99% of the jails in America do not do this, okay? So that alone speaks volumes. You know, every week Pam's on the scene here, and I know you must have a family somewhere, I'm sure. But the point is, people, we're putting effort into this process. All along the chain of your early recovery process to your reentry process, you'll notice people, sincere, honest, genuine folks who don't want nothing out of you other than to recover from your illness. And that's fact. So, you know, don't think you're alone. Holiday seasons, we all go through our first holiday season. You know, just lean on each other, you're going to be okay. Now, how many of y'all ever been to meetings on the outside? You notice when you go to meetings on the outside, at the end of the meeting, they celebrate. They give out key tags, right, to mark your milestones. And whenever somebody picks up an anniversary key tag, they always ask, well, how'd you do it? You remember that? You know, how'd you do it? So our speaker, he's going to come up here. I'm going to give him his key tag. Then we're going to ask him, well, how'd you do it? Then he's going to tell a story to you, okay? Now, he gets a special key tag. I didn't have one that said exactly 32 years, but I got a key tag that says clean and serene for decades. Today is his 32nd year anniversary. And nothing excites him more than to come in here and share his experience, strength, and hope with you. So, Daewoo, come on up here. Congratulations.
Hey,
We're
John.
very proud of it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
And our custom is, how'd you do it?
One moment at a time. Not one day, one moment at a time. So thank you guys for having me today, because today is very special for me. This is not just my anniversary. This is my 10th year home after doing a straight 25. Okay? And not only that, today's my born day. Wow. So you know, like, I'm all over the place. You know, I'm all over the place. So I talked to my sponsor this morning, man, and we did the Just for the Day, and it talks about the fear of change. And he wanted to talk to me about it, how I was so afraid of change. See, my journey starts in the Bronx, C-72, 3rd Upper, Rikers Island. That's where my journey starts, because that's when I first did a pill of dope. Not on the street, in jail, on the island. That's where I learned how to shoot dope, on the island. And I never stopped. From 1972 to as long as I can remember, the only thing I wanted to do was get high. I didn't want to do nothing else. So if I had to rob, steal, lie, whatever, to my family, I'm the only male of 7 girls. So all my sisters caught it. All of them. But I wasn't raised in that household for them to get it. My dad, Sudanese Muslim, my mother, Baptist evangelist, 45 days, they knew each other. They stayed married for 69 years. So you know that thing when you talk about, you think you know about love? My dad, the greatest gift he ever gave me, he said, listen, all I want you to do is love you. I don't want you to tell me you love me. I want you to tell you you love you. And I didn't get that message until 1990. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. Because when I was getting high, you know, the only thing I wanted to do is take them drawers off that I had held all in my thighs, in my groin. So when I went to jail, guess the first thing I asked for? Can I get some drawers? That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted was some drawers. And then I would go out, go back on my run again, and they all knew me, say, I know what you want. Fresh pair of drawers. That woo back. Fresh pair of drawers. That's it. I didn't want nothing else. And I did that for so long, I don't even remember why I did it. When it got clear, I mean clear. You understand me? You know what I heard? Get free before you get free. Dude named Buddha on Powhatan Correctional Center. He gave me a word. Shout out to Buddha. He doing 3 life terms. He ain't never coming home. He got a dark day. In case anyone who didn't know, back in the 90s, when they gave you a dark day, that was called natural life. So he got 3 life sentences plus a dark day. All they had to do was give him the dark day. They just piled more on him, just in case he won an appeal on one of the other charges. But shout out to my man. He said, young blood, get free. Because if you defeat this, everything else outside of you can do nothing to you. This is the battle. Ain't nothing outside of you in your way. Nothing. I was the dude who said, man, if the white man just get out of power, I'd be okay. That wasn't the truth. Guess who was in my way? Me. I was in my own way. That's it. So when I came home, December 12th, 2013, oh my goodness, I need to share something with you, man. I was done. I was done. You hear me? Because the only thing I did for the whole time I was locked up, I didn't want to study nothing but me. So you want to study something? You want to read something? Study you. Don't study somebody else. Don't study about business. What you want to study about business for when you still you? As soon as you get the business, you're going to tear it up. What are you going to do? So what difference do it make if you got all the money, good people, nice job, or you the owner of the job, right? You got everything you sat down in our imaginations want. We got everything. But you still a gutter, no good, nobody. Guess what you're about to do to the woman or the man that you comes in your life? You're going to destroy them. Then you're going to destroy all the other people who you come in contact with for having everything that you got. So we right back to the disappointment. I weigh it like this now. This is how I weigh it. 5 minutes of discipline saves me years of regret. Come on. 5 years of discipline. You understand me? 5, just discipline myself, some self-control. See, I stopped using when I gained control. Right? And I need to share this before it goes somewhere. See, John don't remember how much of an impact he'd been on me. See, I seen the blueprint. He got the blueprint of how this recovery thing is supposed to be. He do. Real talk. I ain't never sit down with him and ask him, John, how you do that? I ain't do that. Because I'm an observer. I like to observe people in their walk. So I observed his walk. Then I observed his business practice. Then I observed his moral character because I know I needed to be a person of character. because I found out that my higher power is more important, more interested in changing my character instead of my circumstance. That's more important, right? I'd rather be a better person with nothing than a rich person and I'm still stupid as hell. Still dumb. Still, because what you gonna do? I know that there's some of you right now that done had it all. I know you done had it all. But don't you see how fast it got away from you? See the regret? No discipline. If you don't take nothing else from what I give, weigh that out. Just a little bit of discipline, right? Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. It don't take a lot. It takes a little bit. You know what I'm talking about, discipline? When you do an inventory of yourself, ask yourself 5 things. What do I need to change to stop doing what I've been doing? Because what I've been doing been giving me this result. Just list 5 things. Just list 5 things. The same way I list 5 things of what I'm grateful for every day. See, I don't go into the bathroom no more in the morning time and just look at myself. I don't do that no more. I go in the bathroom and say, you know what? I love you. It's going to be good. You just do right today. You just do right today. That's it. And see, that tells me, right, automatically that no matter what happens, I'm good. I'm good. So now I can go out and do what my mission is and my purpose is. My purpose is to change lives. That's my mission and my purpose, right? So I came home 2013, right? Got this long criminal history, right? Don't nobody want to hire me, right? So I actually started working in a field, they said, because of our background, we can't. You know that impossible shit? Y'all done seen the Impossible Burger. That's some make-believe out of the world thing. I'm talking about impossible. I'm not supposed to be working in that field. They said it. Nobody with a criminal history like yours is supposed to be working in that field. So when I went to the General Assembly 5 years ago, they said, you defeated odds. You done gave us some hope that we can hire people with criminal histories. We can. Not only that, thank you, John. I wrote the curriculum on forensic peer support. I did, in that 9x7 cell in Powhatan, before I was released. I wrote that curriculum. I wrote that curriculum because I don't want you to have a job. I want you to have a career. You feel me? Because you can have a job. You can have a job, you know? You know why you can have a job? Because in a little while, you're going to get tired of who you're working with. You know you go to work every day, man, I can't stand her. You know it. You do that. We feel like that, right? What if you had a career? Ooh. What if you had a career and your only career is to help people who've been in your situation, in your space? They done been there, right? And you start doing that. Right? You start doing that. And you keep on doing it. So let me give you the hope. This is the hope. For 1 year, my best friend, last year, October, he passed. My best friend. His name's Sean. Right? He passed. I didn't know that my best friend left me a house. When he wrote it up, he said, I don't trust nobody else with this. And this is going to be a recovery house. I don't trust nobody else but you with it. Now, that's all I've been wanting to do. Right? Take my own money, start a recovery house. Here I got my best friend who passed. I miss him. He was my dude, man. And he left me a house, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, man. He left me a house. I turned that thing into a recovery house and ran it for a whole year for free. I ain't charged nobody rent or none of that. because I saw the vision. Let me tell you what happened last month on my 1 year anniversary. 1 year anniversary of holding the house down. Like I said, I ain't had to put out no money. Dude called me, said, Dawood, what you doing? I said, man, I'm just trying to keep the pace, taking it one moment at a time. He said, listen, man, I got 5 houses. What you want to do with them? I said, what you mean what I want to do with them? They're yours. He said, but I think that you the guy, you're supposed to be running them. I said, huh? So we met up. He came to my recovery house, saw how I got it, how it's situated. He said, this is the standard. Say, I got that standard from John. Say, I got the standard from John. Say, I didn't want to be like John because John set the standard, right? So guess what I got to do? Be better. I got to do it better because I got to keep up his legacy. I got to, because he don't know how he infected me, how he impacted me. He didn't have to say, yo, come on, do this, do it. He didn't have to do that with me. What he did was just show me the proof in his character. He showed me the walk, right? So that's all I wanted was the walk. So listen, dude gave me 5 houses. I ain't had to put no money up. He said, you run them. Just pay my rent. I said, okay. Okay. So before I put a person in there, they got to fit a criteria. Because John showed me what a criteria looked like. Right? Right? I practice what is called triage. Anybody ex-military? Triage is when you help the people on the battlefield who are screaming for help. Those who are dying know they dying. That's why they ain't hollering. So all I want is the people, help! That's all I want. That's all I want to help. I want to help them. I want to give them the best opportunity to succeed. The best one, right? Now, check it. All I'm doing is training. That's all I do. I train people. I train them in trauma-informed care, forensic peer support, peer support. That's all I do is train because I found out what my niche was. If you found out that what you were good at, that's the only thing you're supposed to be doing. If you done sold drugs, you're the most hell of a salesman ever. You're the most hell of a salesman. That's what is called a transferable skill. That's all it is. It's a transferable skill, right? Listen, check it. The biggest dope boy ever is out. Out. He asked me, he said, Dawood, what am I supposed to do now? Bro, come on, man, you ran an enterprise. You ran a criminal enterprise. You asking me what you want to do? I said, come on. Took him to Haley Pontiac Kia. He thought I was buying him a car. I was taking him for a job interview. And I made him a dare. I said, I got a G in my pocket for you if you can do this. All right? Became the #1 salesman of cars in the state of Virginia in a month. You know the rate of selling cars? You know the most you can do? You know how much money you can make from selling cars? Hold up, fellas. I need y'all to understand because I see a lot of y'all done been in the game before. Y'all think the money y'all were making was some money. Y'all won't making no money. That ain't no money, right? That ain't no money. When your first car sale and your check come back and you got $8,500 for that one day. Then you sell another car the next day. That's another 55, right? So his bankroll rolling. He ain't spending no money. He said, I need that G, bro. I need that G. I need that G. That's all he kept on telling me. I said, okay, I got you. I got you. Become the #1 salesman, I put another G on it. So I know what motivates people. I know what motivates, dude. Definitely I know it. That motivates us, don't it? right? Check it. He became the #1 salesman, right? Right? Left after working there for 3 years. 6 figures. 6 figures in his savings account. 6 figures, right? Guess what he go out and do? What he's always wanted to do. He brought him a food truck. The ultimate goal for me, I got it on my vision board, my sister will tell you, is to be happy, joyous, and free. That's all I want, man. I don't care nothing about no money. I want to be happy, joyous, and free. You know what that affords me? Time. Affords me time. It affords me discipline. And it affords me to do whatever I want. You understand? So for 2024, me and my sister, we going to Dubai. We going to Miami. We going some places. Yo, we going some places. You know why? Because for 10 years, all I did was look for everybody else's needs, right? And care for them. And then I trained 5 dudes and 2 women to do what I do. I ain't in a crab barrel. This thing bigger than me. Train them, let them go. Now y'all can handle it. Guess what? Now it becomes something we all like. Residual income. You know what residual income is? That money you make while you sleep. That's residual income. And guess what? They still get paid. They still get paid. I hired my sister. She said, what I got to do? What you been doing? Go out there, talk to people. She said, how much you gonna give me? 20 an hour? She said, you lying. She said, you lying. You ain't gonna give me no $20 an hour. I said, yes, I am. Go ahead out there. And she did it religiously because she knew I was dead serious about helping, because that's all I want to do. On my gravestone, I was here from 1959 to whatever the day is. Under the dash, he helped others. I don't want nothing else, man. I found out my purpose. You know what? You know when I found out my purpose? When I got free. Up here, man. It ain't nowhere else. It ain't in your heart. It ain't in your heart. It's in your mind. Because when we get free up here, can nothing outside of you bother you. You know those things that bother you? You know, that irritate you, get on your nerves? You know, like when somebody snore too loud? I'm speaking to the jail people because I know jail. I know jail. Listen, dudes who snore too loud, dudes who sit down and walk around, they passing gas, they farting all over the place. You be saying, what is going on in here? You know? Guess what I learned? Behavior, all behavior, everything we do is a situation. You know what I mean by situation? It's a condition of how we deal with the things that we've been through. Our trauma, right? You ever watch something and just start crying? Like a TV program, just start crying, you be one of you crying, right? I used to love to see the hardest dudes hardest, right? We watching something on TV and I see a tear coming out, he tried to wipe that joint. I caught you, bro. I caught you. I caught you. But you understand? Listen, we real people down underneath when we take the mask off. And I ain't talking about the mask up here either. I ain't talking about that mask. I'm talking about the full whole cape and caboodle, the whole body mask. I'm talking about the body mask. I'm talking about that mask that'll have you thinking, man, I ain't got to fuck this shit. I ain't got to do it. I don't need to get clean. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. It took me 10 years. It took me 10 years. And all I wanted to do was help people. I found my niche, right? I found my niche. So now I don't ask John for anything. I say, John, what you need? What you need, right? So I trained everybody at McShin who was staff in CPR first aid. They didn't know I was a trainer. All the staff, everybody. I trained them in therapeutic options. I learned what counselors and what psychologists need to remain counselors and psychologists. Now I'm their trainer. And I left prison with a GED. Understand? I went to the University of Phoenix, went online, got my whole degree. And didn't have to pay for that. Didn't have to pay for that. Man, I'm telling you, the opportunity is there. You know what we hate? The process. We hate the process. I just said it took me 10 years to get here. It took me 10 years to get here, right? Right? It took me 10 years to get here. I didn't get here. There's a time. Our problem is we impatient. We impatient, we antisocial, we don't like to be around people. So how you gonna help somebody? How you gonna help somebody? You can't stand to be around people, you know? Come on, man. Can I talk to y'all as real as I can get right now? Thank you. Okay, you gave me permission, so I'm gonna say this. Most of us can't stand each other. You know why? Because we can't stand ourselves. You know why we can't stand ourselves? Right? Because we ain't been taught to love ourselves. We've been taught to hate ourselves. Period. That's what we've been taught. Through our music, through our environment and everything. Through our peers, the people we see. We've been taught to hate ourselves. Man, I'm telling you, do this for me. Do this for me. Straight up. Just for 7 days. Just for 7 days. Don't do it longer than 7 days, because after 7 days, you're gonna mess up your life. Okay? Whatever you used to, this gonna really, like, every day, every time you get in that mirror, you know that metal mirror. I done seen that metal mirror. I've been in that metal mirror. It gives you a distorted look at yourself, right? But if you can get a good mirror every day for 7 days, in the morning and at night, say, I love you. Watch it change your life. Watch. Try me. And watch it don't change your life. And it's not only going to change your life, it's going to change your mind, and you're going to start thinking, why am I in here? That's what you're going to say. Why am I in here? But it only takes a moment, something small, something insignificant, like telling yourself you love you. You know how insignificant that might be in our daily activity because we worried about this, that, and that. But if I'm talking about doing something for you, not for me, not for your people, for you. Because until you get right, it don't matter what you do for your people. Your people gonna still see you as the dude you is and the female you are. That's all they can see. That's all they know, who you've been. They don't see who you're becoming. They only see who you've been, right? So listen, when I was in New York, I went to jail 5 times. I was a regular on the island. A regular on the island. Came down here, regular in Norfolk City Jail. A regular. But when I got right, man, I'm telling you, the peace I got, get free. Before you get free, man. What you gonna get free for? What you want all that money for? What you want that good husband for? What you want your kids back? Why you want that relationship with your people? Why you want that and you still the no good something that you've always been? Because you ain't addressed that, but you address her when you get home. Why you with that nigga? Because you ain't there. That's why. And the dude just lost his life in Richmond because he came home thinking he was supposed to go back to his baby mama. Sport coat, or Jody, as we know him, he was in there doing his thing. He won't go in nowhere. So the shootout happened. Guess who lost their life? Guess who lost their life? Not the baby daddy, the mama and the new boyfriend lost their life. Dude right back in jail. You know what I'm saying? What type of time was he on? I believe that men need to be men. I need women to be women. But men, if you need help, get it. If you need help, get it. If you ain't sick of you, ask your people how they feel about you. If you done did this a couple of times, back and forth. You'd ask for bond money. You don't ask for canteen money. You don't ask for money to put on your phone. You done did that a couple of times, right? So what the lesson you get? What the lesson you learn from doing that? That dudes will tell on you? That ain't the lesson I get. I get that I was a fool because I put myself in a position for somebody to tell on me. All right? So now, man, right now is a good time, man. Don't matter what you got to do, man. Right now is a good time. John is doing, I'm so glad John is retired. I need you to understand it. A lot of times after you done did the work, it's time for you to see the fruit from what kind of tree you are. See, the tree is known by its fruit, right? I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to make you proud. Real talk. I'm going to make you real proud. Because when I go to speak, I'm going to say John Shinhauser is responsible for this. Thanks to a loving and caring God, of my understanding. Because I ain't here because of anything I did. It's because I followed and I surrounded myself with the right people. My circle is small, real small, real small. You know why? I only want people around me who are doing much better than me. And I can't find them on the street corner. I can't. That's right. You better keep your circle small. And listen, if you're the smartest person in the room amongst your friends, better get you some new friends. Something wrong. Something wrong. Get you some new friends. But if you want to sit down there, go ahead and up your game. You know what I mean by up your game? Elevate it. Put it with somebody. Get with people who are elevating their game. That's right. Get with them. That's it. Get with them. You want to be a millionaire? Ain't you supposed to be hanging around millionaires? You can't be. That's right. You ain't supposed to. Listen, I know millionaires that don't be at the golf club. They do. I know millionaires that own detailing companies. They detailing cars right now. They detailing cars and they millionaires. Detailing cars. Detailing cars and a millionaire. He got a Bentley truck. And you would never know that 7 years ago he came out of penitentiary after doing 20, and that's all he did. He ain't never worked for nobody else. He had a bucket and he went across the street over the Richmond Raceway. Some of you may know him, his name's Squeak.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Dude is making it happen from having a bucket and a squeegee. Now he got Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and he used to be in the game. Let me not get that. Hey, dude but guess what? He done cleaned up, got his head right. Man, he making money. He got a contract at Richmond Raceway. And the city of Richmond cleaning all the vehicles. So guess what he hired? Guess who his staff is? Everybody that come out to jail. He getting everybody a shot. You just got to show up. That's all you got to do is show up. But guess what? You know how underneath it is for us to go out there and work in jobs that we think are beneath us, but yet you've been in here sweeping and mopping. You know how crazy that is? That's crazy, man. I know I did 20 years and did nothing but 27 cents an hour. I know I did that. So that's why now the $50 an hour feel real good. It feel good, man. It do. And I ain't blowing myself up or nothing, man. I'm practically learning how to be the most humblest person I know. Because I know two things for sure. One, I ain't gonna never do drugs again. I have no desire to do drugs again, but I'm still that close to using. Because the disease of addiction still lies within me. I just choose today to discipline myself and not use. That's all I did, just discipline myself because I know what the regret looks like. You know what the regret looks like? Me in gray sweats. That's what the regret looks like. Me in gray sweats. So thank you. Y'all don't know how y'all feeding me right now. Y'all are. I know what the regret looks like. When I go up the power tent, I know what the regret looked like. Because I got off of me. I found me, and once I found me, now I can come and honestly and genuinely help you, regardless of where you are, what you look like, or what you did. That ain't got no concern of mine. My concern now is to lift you up so you can sit down and take the next person you see, stand where I'm standing, help them keep it moving. We are the greatest resource. We are. You want to really sit down and cure this epidemic where they don't put $62 trillion in it? $62 trillion, and we only see a couple of thousand, maybe 100,000 in the hustle game. They don't put $62 trillion in helping us get it right. Damn. And they don't care who you look like. They just want us to get well, right? Imagine this. Imagine you help somebody and get paid for it. Imagine that. You helping somebody and you can get paid for it, right? And get paid more than you ever scrambled for, sold your body for, did drugs for, all of that. Better job, ain't it? Lessen the risk. Lessens the risk. And you know what? That's the biggest thing, right? But like the Daily Bread said today, the fear change. We like our old lifestyle because that's been our personality. Because we think that all we'll ever be is who we've ever been. When you want something different, you can have something different. I'm telling you, get free before you get free. Thank y'all for letting me share, man. I am? Yeah.
Love it, man. I love it. I love it. You know, man.
You know, I know what I'm gonna retire into the car washing business, man.
Put it in my car. You got my
Give me a
keys.
bucket of squeegee, man.
Yeah,
Put that to tap.
and make it happen, man. Message, man, but it's right here. It's right here. You know, for those that want it, you know what I mean? Absolutely.
Well, y'all feel better?
Oh,
Got a little hope today?
yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of times we get hope. A couple hours go by, we ain't so hopeful. You know, we get back up in our head. Life sucks. No, stop. We all roll through those feelings and emotions. And best part about connection to recovery, the hope's there every day.
Yeah.
It really doesn't go nowhere. Only thing that goes somewhere is you. So you got to learn to go where the love is, go where the hope is. And he was right, you know. You get what you get when you do what you do. If you hang around people in active addiction, you're going to get active addiction results. You hang around people in recovery, you're going to get recovery results. And he touched on, you know, you got to get a job, and the job will lead into the job. And then once you got the job, it ain't like work no more. Marshall talks about that. If you love what you do, it ain't work.
It ain't work.
You know?
And I know for me, like he said, just learning something about yourself. I know for me, I need to be energized every day. You know, that's why I read. I read because I know I need to energize me. You know, I can't take a week off. You know what I'm saying? And then thinking I'm gonna be all right. You know, because like you said too, man, that thinking, man, the disease, like most people say, is our thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that don't go anywhere. Man, that's the amazing part about this thing for me. You've been clean. I've been clean 35 years. John been clean 41 years, you know. And man, it's still situations that may come up that have you thinking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just talking to my wife, and you know, you
Yeah,
get some crazy
yeah.
shit. That
Yeah,
doesn't go away, but it
yeah.
never gets old either. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know.
Any other visitors want to say anything? Well, come on up here, man. Oh, here we go. Round two, baby. Round two.
My name is Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
And my clean date is December the 26th, 2009, and I have not found the necessary to use.
Ah, give it up.
You know, I haven't found the necessary to use no drugs, because alcohol is a drug. I haven't found the necessary to use him, because he can become a drug. You know, because I can substitute one for another and release my addiction all over again. And then I'm back to ground zero trying to figure out how I got here. I came to a place in my recovery because I was brought up in a real resourceful family. They were politicians, educators, business owners, entrepreneurs. You know, they had gone to college, they graduated, they got their degrees, you know, and they were doing big things. They had careers, you understand? But I had a relationship that told me I got something that I want you to try. And I didn't know that he was going to give me something because I thought he loved me. He loves me. I got his baby. And he showed me what it was like to take a hit off of something that would change my life forever. And I smoked crack cocaine for over 25 years. And I kept saying, when am I going to be able to stop? I don't want to do this no more. And I had a career in banking. And I had kids. The drugs took me away from me. It took me away from the relationship with God of my understanding. It took me away from my children. It took me away from my family. It took me away from the home that I had, the cars that I had. I became my own best salesperson because I had to get that next one. I lived to use and used to live for a long time. And when it came to that bottom piece, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of people looking at me, shaking their head like, damn. What in the world happened to you? Don't worry about it. Just don't use. That's what I tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, I could take my disease at 13 years and I ain't going to say 12 months, 11 months, right? My disease tell me, girl, go ahead on and get you a little dime bag. That didn't take you to your bottom. No, it didn't. It took me back to the drug of my choice. My disease said, girl, go on over Bonita, Buck Naked House. And go there and kick it with them and try to get them to go to a meeting. I can't do the 13 stepper because they'll get me half quicker than I can get them clean. So I had to change everything, not some things. I couldn't pick and choose what to change. I had to change everything because, like he said, the battlefield is in my mind. And it comes out of my mind, it comes out of my mouth, and then it comes out of my behaviors. And then I start seeing the change of things in my atmosphere, then I become angry with me. So I can't choose to get mad with everybody on the outside because I did that. They told me if you don't pick it up, it won't get in you. If you don't keep on fooling with him, he won't get in you. You know, so therefore, you know, as a direct result of going to meetings, they told me to make 90 meetings in 90 days. Go listen out for a sponsor. Go to meetings. The broader the base is the higher point of freedom. I took 45-minute ride to get up here to this meeting tonight. Because we work together, we connect together, we interact together, we stick together, we work together because we want to see each other do great things in life. I went on a divine assignment at Riverside Regional Jail down in Prince George. I didn't even have a charge, but because I gave a dirty urine, and they said, "Come on, we're gonna take you," you know, and I did that little transport down the riverside, and I was there for 51 days. And the judge said, oh, well, you wasn't even supposed to go to jail. I know. You took the fine time to tell me. But I'm grateful I did, because I was able, God used me in that facility to see the young people, younger than me, same age as my daughters, coming in there as a result of wanting to be a part of, people pleasing. Girlfriend, boyfriend did this, and I was there. And association will get you caught up in the grip every time. And I just was able to, speak to them. We came to meetings, we went to church, we did those things that we should have been doing before we got there. And then I come out and I use again, because I want to still be a part of the relationship. But the relationship became F-ship, because there won't no other ship that was going to bring love and peace and serenity and peace. None of that. So I let go, I let God, I let somebody tell me what I could do to do something different. I took suggestions. They said they're free. If the one I don't take is the one that costs me, I had to become honest with my thinking. I had to shine a light on my thinking, because if I didn't shine a light on my thinking, I think it was going to shine a light on me. And I had to become open-minded, because I didn't want nobody to tell me nothing. I'm 50, 45. Yeah, you 45 with a stem in your hand. Yeah. So you need somebody to tell you something, because, I graduated from high school. Yeah, you sure did. But you had a stem in your hand. So now I'm 57 years old, y'all. And I'm willing to take a suggestion. I'm willing for somebody to tell me something. So they're telling me something and getting a foundation of recovery and allowing people to share with me the exact nature of my wrong that I couldn't see, that I thought I was doing right. And I've graduated from Richard Bland College, the College of Women Married, with my associate's degree. I graduated from Old Dominion University with my human services degree, bachelor's. You know what I'm saying? I graduated from Virginia State University, because, see, that's the little girl coming back to life. So I'm doing the things as a little girl that I wanted to do, that I should have been doing, but I didn't get a chance to do. But God afforded me an opportunity to come out of that wilderness experience. And my sponsor told me after that 4 steps, she said, now that's your book. Each and every one of you all in here got a book in you. Why are you here? Start writing. Start writing from the beginning, before crack, before heroin, before anything that you all was the choice of your reason for being here. Write about it. And that book came out in 2020 called Wilderness Experiences on Amazon.com by Tracy L. Owens. How about that? But you gotta let go and let the God of your understanding guide you. Because Pookie and Pee Wee and JoJo and all of them, they ain't gonna do nothing but get you back to where you was left off at. And when you go back and start where you left off at, it's gonna bring on more demons and more trouble and more confusion, more contradiction, more situations. And I graduated from Virginia State with my master's degree in counseling education, and I'm giving back too. I created a substance abuse program for Richard Bland College, the College of Women Married. They just honored me on November 28th. Yeah, November 28th with the 2023 Richard Bland Award. You all got that in you too. Don't let this trip be your first trip. Make it your last trip. Because you can do better. Great is he that is in you all than he that is where? That's right. And I am working on my doctor's degree in organizational leadership, because that too is where I want to start going into a different career, because the wreckage of my past, when you get older women, come on now, they're going to want to cut you over here, cut you over there. And that's why I'm here. Oh, beating up the men that I mess with, catching up with the women, it comes back to haunt you, and you do not want the wreckage of your past to come back and hindering you from getting better and getting to a better place where you all can give back what was so freely given to you all. Thanks for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Anybody here, do you think you really can't recover? I ain't see one hand go up. So obviously we all think we can do this, right? Look, I'm telling you, a day at a time, you can get this done. You know, you really can. It's as simple as a day at a time. And I don't know what else to say,
Hey,
Marshall.
if I was still a dope fiend, I'd be charging y'all MFs. But for this thing tonight, y'all would have to be paying $5 or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, $5 for a message of hope. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get Dawood and his sister another hand.
There you go. And we good?
Yeah, we good.
All
This
right.
thing gets better and better and better. You know what I mean? Tell them your little thing, John. Tell them your little thing, John, when you do about the recovery high.
Oh, yeah. You know, I always mention no matter what drug you do, you ain't going to get but so high, right? Y'all know that story? No matter how much you drink, you know, you ain't going to get but so drunk.
Yeah.
Any drug you do, you ain't going to get but so high, and half of them will kill you if you get too high. Well, in recovery, we reach a recovery high point. It might take a minute to get there. My best drug get high was that. My average recovery high is this good, and it's progressive.
Like it was tonight.
And once you find that recovery high, you get in that zone. We call that the good shit zone. You don't want to go back to that cheap shit you've been doing. Yeah. So you got to stick around long enough, do the work long enough till you actually feel the recovery high. You know you're in that recovery high zone. That's the one. So, and it's free and available to anybody, but you got to do the work and you got to go after it. Go after it like you went after your drugs, and you can't miss. Guaranteed, man. Guaranteed.
Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you. Good work. Happy holidays.
Y'all ain't know he could sing, did you?
Hope you have a good one.
Y'all ain't know he could sing, did you?
All right. Good to see you. Yeah.
I can't believe you're